Hiya guys, so I've had this Brompton about 2 months, done about 100 miles I think altogether on it so far. Most of that has been on canal towpaths. The surfaces have been very varied, sometimes quite bumpy, sometimes muddy, sometimes dusty, sometimes quite smooth. So quite a mixture really, but it seems to have taken everything that has been thrown at it. So I thought maybe after 100 miles it would be time to stand back and reflect on what I think of the bike so far, and sort of do a review of the Brompton. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I guess I should explain why I bought the Brompton before I tell you what I think about it. So as you may know, I am in the process of having a narrowboat built, and I've been watching YouTube videos of people who have boats, who live on boats, and they nearly all have a bike for when they want to go shopping, things like that, because you can be tied up on the canal miles away from the nearest village and town. So a bike is an essential thing really if you want to go and do some shopping. And most of the boaters seem to use folding bikes rather than a normal conventional bike. And the most popular ones, it seems to me, are Bromptons. So I thought, well, that seems to be the bike to go for. So that's why I wanted to get a Brompton. I wanted this model, which is this is a C line. That's the letter C line, and it's a 6-speed, so it's got 6 gears, and it's a 6-speed Explore model, and it's finished in one of the 2023 colors, which is Bumblebee Yellow, which I think is really smart, and it's finished off with black, so it's black and yellow Bumblebee. Here you go. So that's really why I've bought a folding bike. It's for use on the canals. So now I'm going to tell you what I think about it so far. So I guess one of the big questions about a bike like this is, you know, how practical is it really? How easy is it to carry around? How easy is it to take apart? So I'm going to show you how easy it is to fold. It's called a fold. You fold the Brompton, or you unfold the Brompton. That's the expression that's used. So we're going to fold it up. First thing we do is this pedal on the left hand side folds over the crank like that. The right hand pedal doesn't fold, it stays as it is. Move it to that position. Turn the front wheel a bit. There's a little catch by here, so we press the catch and flick the back wheel, and it'll stand like that now. If I want to, I can just leave it like that. But if I want to fold it all the way, I undo this clamp here, bring it around, that. Then I undo this clamp on the handlebars. Again, that just drops down. And that's it. It's good to go. The saddle is designed for you to carry the bike like that. Off you go then, catch your train or whatever. It's not something I'd want to be carrying too far. After all, it is a bike, so you know, there is a reasonable amount of weight there, but it's certainly not that difficult to walk around quite comfortably for quite a short distance. So that's it. Putting it back together is the opposite. Then the seat post up there. Get that one out. Do up the clamp. Not massively tight. Bring that one around. Tighten this one up again, not too tight. And then the really exciting part, flicking the back wheel and unfolding the left pedal. Away you go. So really not difficult at all. So yeah, Practicality absolutely scores very highly, I would say. So like most Bromptons, there is a 50 tuff single chain ring, a fixed pedal on the right side, a foldable one on the left. Components all seem to be alloy, which is entirely normal. It comes with black mudguards as standard. With some colour schemes you'd have silver mudguards. There are 6 gears, and the way they do it is there are 2 external gears here, 1, 2, and there are 3 gears inside the hub, which are actuated by this mechanism. So you have 2 times 3 equals 6 gears, so there's a reasonable range of gears there, and an external derailleur system. All seems to work very well. I've had no problems with it. The way you change gear is with these trigger switches. This one has got 3 options. So that's for the rear hub, and this one is for the 2 external sprockets, sorry. And again, you just flick it one way or the other. Unlike a conventional derailleur on a racing bike, you can't change these gears if you're pedaling, so you must stop pedaling momentarily to change these gears. But I mean, you just get used to that very quickly. The brakes are side pull brakes. They're not discs. Sorry, they're rim brakes. They're not disc brakes. The levers are up here. They seem very powerful actually. So I've been very happy with the brakes. I don't think there's any need for discs on these bikes. Very good brakes. Been very impressed. Alloy handlebar. Quite a comfortable saddle, and the seat post And that's basically it. You do get a little insert that you can use in here in order to mark the right height for the seat post. So every time you take the bike apart and reopen it, you can be sure that you've opened it to the same height. I haven't bothered installing that, but it's not a difficult job. So it does come with that, and that's the basic equipment that it comes with. Or the tyres, I should say, are very good tyres. They're made by Schwalbe Marathons. They have a reflective strip there, so it shows up in the dark, and they are puncture resistant. Very good tyres, very good tyres. So that's the equipment that the bike actually comes with. There are loads and loads of accessories that Brompton sells, or that you can buy from other manufacturers, of course. Yeah, loads and loads. This, for example, is a special adapter for a Brompton bag. So there's a bag you can buy which would clip over that. It can actually be removed, so I might well do that. So that's the equipment that you can expect to get with your Brompton. So what do I think of the build quality of my Brompton? Let's take a look. The frame itself is made of steel. Got a 5-year warranty on it. The rest of the components are mainly alloy. Finished in black on this model. Sometimes they're finished in silver. Depends on the model of the bike and the colour scheme. Most of the components have got the Brompton logo on, like that. Whether Brompton actually makes them themselves, I don't know. It could be another manufacturer and they just put their badge on. I'm not sure. But certainly everything works very well. There have been no problems with anything. I haven't had to adjust or do anything to it to fix it. The wheels are very strong. Like I said, I've been over quite a lot of bumpy ground, but they are still running very straight and very true. No broken spokes, no wobbles. Yeah, everything is working fine. Sounds a bit like I'm tempting fate there, doesn't it? But everything is working absolutely fine. So build quality, I would say I'm very happy with it, and I've been very impressed with the build quality. So yeah, I've been pretty pleased with the equipment that the bike came with. No real need to alter anything much. Normally on a racing bike I would use a particular make and type of saddle. She's made by a company called San Marco. I've always used them, but I think I'm probably going to leave this one as it is. It does the job, it's comfortable enough. I'm not sure how light it is, but it does the job. The one thing I have changed is this. This is called the seat post or seat pin, and it does come with quite a long seat post, but I was finding that it wasn't quite high enough for me. My legs were a little bit too bent when I was reaching down onto the pedals. So I bought a Brompton replacement one, which is about 2 inches longer. Very easy to fit. The only downside to it is that when you collapse it, you'll see it'll go actually into the ground. With the standard seat post, this would come all the way down there and you'd still have a little bit of clearance underneath. So yeah, I have changed that. A couple of other things I might change is the 50 tough chain ring here. Possibly at some point I might swap it for a 44 tough or even a 40 tough. Really depends what kind of use I get from the bike. But if I find that I'm riding up a lot of hills, I might decide that I'll change that over. It's not a difficult job. You do need to shorten the chain though by a couple of links, but I might do that. And one other thing is these rubber grips on the handlebars. I do find that they're not the most comfortable things on your hands, so it's possible that I will change them. You see they're quite hard rubber there, so I might swap them for something else. I might even take them off and replace them with some cork handlebar tape, as I would use on a racing bike. But we'll see. I've not decided for sure. I needn't make any more changes at all if I don't want, but we'll see. Lots of scope to make changes if you do want to. What's it like to ride? Yeah, it's good. It's lively. It's very lively. I was quite struck the very first time I rode it, how quick off the blocks it is. The small wheels mean that you can weave in and out of things very easily. It's got a distinctly different feel to a road bike or even a hybrid bike or a mountain bike. You do know you're riding something a bit different. It's got a good turn of speed on the flat. Yeah, absolutely. It's quite fast. It's nippy. It's agile. The one place where it, I suppose, is at a disadvantage is when you start going up some serious hills. The gears that it comes with are really not aimed at that. If you want to be riding up some really steep hills, then you have to be thinking of changing the chain ring and perhaps making other changes. I guess really it's a bike that's designed for riding around the town or around the city, which generally would be quite flat. It's certainly comfortable enough, with, as I've said, the only exception being these handlebar grips, for me at least, are not the most comfortable things. But other than that, yeah, handling and performance, absolutely fine. Oh, there's one thing I haven't mentioned yet, and I did want to, and that's to do with pumping up the tyres on the Brompton. Because the wheels are very small, the spokes are much closer together than they would be on a road bike, which is what I'm more used to. And I always use a track pump to pump up the tyres and to check the pressures, because there's just no way you'd ever manage to get a high pressure in a bike tyre just using the hand pump. Brompton does supply you with a small plastic hand pump, which, you know, it'll get you out of bother, but you're never going to get a high pressure with one of those. You must use a track pump. And the first time I tried to use my track pump to check my pressures and pump up the tyres, I thought it didn't fit. So I'm so used to using it on my road bike wheels, where the spokes are further apart. So what I actually did is I emailed a company called Brilliant Bikes, who I think are based in Surrey, and I didn't buy the bike from them, by the way, but I found that Brilliant Bikes have an awful lot of really good videos on YouTube about Bromptons. You name it, they've covered it, and they're very well made. And there's a lovely lady on there who presents the videos, explains everything. Fabulous, absolutely recommend it. So I emailed them and I asked them for some advice, and they very gently explained in their reply that I just needed to fit the pump slightly differently on the Brompton wheels, which I'm going to show you now. So that was one thing that did throw me at first. I'll leave a link to Brilliant Bikes website, and again, as I said, if you go on YouTube and you want to know things about Bromptons, how to do this, how to do that, then I think they'll have covered it already, so absolutely recommend them. Let's have a look at these wheels now and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So here we go, here's my track pump. So you see the spokes are very close together. Take the cap off, and then with a road bike you'd normally fit it like that, but of course there's not enough room, but you just need to do a bit of lateral thinking and place this on at an angle like that, and there you go. It was as simple as that, but maybe I'm a bit thick, I hadn't figured that out. And then you can pump your tyre up. At the moment it's got about 85 psi, so I'll just leave it for the moment. But you can pump your tyre up and then remove that, lift it off, and always put your disc cap back on. Like that. So thank you very much, Brilliant Bikes. That was brilliant. Overall then, what's my opinion of the Brompton C-Line 6-speed Explore? I've been very pleased and I've been very impressed. I've been quite new to Bromptons, had no experience of them before, had no interest really in having such a bike, but now once I've got the boat, I'm pretty sure that the Brompton is going to be the answer to my transportation problems. So I'm really glad that I bought it. It hasn't been a disappointment in any sense at all. Are they value for money? They're not the cheapest of bikes. I'm sure there are cheaper folding bikes that you can buy from other makes, other companies. I'm sure there are. And I'm equally sure that there must be a lot of good second-hand Bromptons, because from what I've seen of the bike, it's very well made. I think that it's going to last a long time, many years. So second-hand ones I would expect to be very, very good value for money. Again, it's like anything, you need to shop around. So yeah, I wouldn't hesitate to recommend one. I think the 6-speed one is the one to go for, in my opinion, because you do have those extra gears. Some of them only come with 3 or even possibly 2, I think. But for me, the more gears you've got, the more choice you've got. So this would be the model. They do make an electric version as well, and they make a titanium version. and I think maybe 1 or 2 special editions as well, and lots of different colors. So you know, it's what you want really. Have a look online, shop around, and find the one that you want. I suppose I should also say that this is a medium height handlebar. The handlebar heights come in 3 versions, that's small, medium and high. But for me this handlebar height is absolutely fine. It was high enough, so I've gone for the medium height. So that's it. That's my review of the bike. The first 100 miles have been great. Fingers crossed the second 100 miles will be just as good, and that before too long the bike will actually be on the boat, you know, where it's going to spend the rest of its life, because that's why I bought it. So I hope you enjoyed this, hope you found it useful. As usual, if you liked it, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Do leave a comment. Maybe if you're someone who's already got a Brompton and you've got something to say, or if you're thinking of buying one, or maybe if you've got some other folding bike, then yeah, please throw in a comment. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, please do so. That would be fabulous, and very much appreciated. But until the next time, I think that's it from me for now. Take care, all the best, and bye bye.